This is exactly right.
The Hulu original series Furious is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Starring Emmy Rossum as Alice Black, Furious follows a rookie FBI agent on the hunt for Catherine, played by Lola Pettigrew, a mysterious and calculating female serial killer.
While Alice upholds justice, Catherine kills for it, terrorizing the rich and powerful men of New York in her pursuit of vengeance.
With secrets that change everything, Alice discovers there's a thin line between hunter and prey.
Watch the Hulu original series Furious.
Now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Goodbye.
Calling all amateur detectives and podcast obsessives.
Virgin Voyage's second true crime voyage sets sail March 20th, 2027 for a 5-night escape to Grand Turk and the Beach Club at Bimini.
As part of the On Air at Sea collection, this immersive sailing brings together fan favorite podcasts, including Disgraceland, Buried Bones, and Wisecrack, for live recordings, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive meet and greets, and crime-themed programming that you won't find anywhere else.
All aboard our award-winning, kid-free ships.
Head over to virginvoyages.com/truecrime to secure your spot.
Goodbye.
You know what quality feels like. You can see it in the way a fabric moves, recognize it in a flawless fit, and appreciate it in the details that make our styles unique. It's the standard Coldwater Creek has honored for over 40 years, derived from a rich Mountain West heritage, and designed for today in styles that are distinctively Coldwater Creek. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop new arrivals and save 15% on purchases $75 or more with code IHEART.
Bite into a stacked sandwich made with Hero Bread, and the only thing you'll think is delicious. You won't think it has up to 19 grams protein, 11 to 32 grams of fiber, or just 0 to 5 grams net carbs. But it does. Hero Bread. No compromises, just loaves, buns, tortillas, bagels, and noodles packed with flavor. Right now, get 10% off at hero.co with code IHEART. That's HERO.co, code IHEART. All figures per serving of Hero Bread. See nutrition facts on hero.co.
Hello, and welcome
To My Favorite Murder.
That's Georgia Hardstar.
That's Karen Kilgariff.
This is our 500th episode.
That's so bananas. I can't even come to grips with it.
It is. It feels like 5 and it feels like 500,000.
It does. Both. Both.
Yeah.
Did you ever think we'd get to this number when we were making single-digit puns back in my old apartment in Hollywood?
Taking so much time to name these shows.
Yeah.
Really a couple days worth of, wait.
I thought of one.
Here's a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild.
It is. Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Good job. 500.
Great job.
And that's it.
And goodbye.
And that's the last one.
Mm-hmm. And then we're both raptured.
Wait, I'm a Jew.
Wait, don't take me.
Wait, no. I don't want to go there. I want to go somewhere else, please. I want to go to Ireland.
Do they have any? That's a different kind of rapture. Yeah. The Guinness rapture.
What's going on?
God, nothing. I mean, we had incredible shows in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Very tie, 2 shows in one night.
Yeah. By the time this episode goes up, we'll have been in Salt Lake City, and then tonight we'll be in Oakland.
Wow.
Which is exhausting to just think about. But
it's the future.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying the shows. Go to myfavoritemurder.com/live to get your tickets.
And thank you, Boston, for just a delightful, power-packed evening of all kinds of things. I mean, everything happened in those 2 shows.
Speaking of, I have a movie recommendation because it made me cry, which I don't do.
Yes, you do. You've started to.
I know. Once in a while, there's certain things, but I really need those good cries. And there's this thing that all my girlfriends talk about and agree upon, which is that when you're on a plane, you cry harder at movies, and it's a good cry. And airplane movie cries are the best cries.
Yeah.
And I've fucking never, ever had one. And I've always been like, that sounds nice to have in your life. And it never happened until we were on our way home yesterday from Boston. And I found myself sobbing in my seat from a movie that I think you'll love. I'm sure you love this movie. It's a British fucking epic World War II love story. Atonement.
Oh, so good.
Oh my fucking God.
The Typing Keys soundtrack as she runs around that.
Everything about that, yes.
Incredible.
And so the end, I have a video of it. I'm going to make a video. I just was sobbing in my seat.
I'm sorry. You have video of yourself sobbing.
Yep, because it was so good. It felt, I was like, finally, I'm a real girl. I felt real for the first time in my life.
We got to get you to the place where you do it and then it's not content.
Why wouldn't it be content? Why wouldn't it be content?
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't everything be content? Look around.
So wait, can you do a little reenactment of what? So you start to cry. Oh, this is really sad.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm crying. I was like, I felt like, oh my God, I have emotions. This is so cool.
They're in there.
Yeah.
They're in there.
So either things are going really well and I'm like breaking through, or things are going really poorly and I'm crying a lot.
Either way, the rapture's coming. I mean, when I learned that it's very good to cry because it is one of the ways the body releases cortisol, because I always had like not as much shut down feelings. It was more like you're not allowed to do this and no one has time for this.
I have part of that too.
So it's kind of that thing of like I start feeling it and then I just like fully muscle it down.
I think that's what it is. Or it's almost like this isn't going to do anything.
Yes.
You're wasting your time and everyone else is.
Yeah.
Stop it. Yeah.
What will come of this?
Yeah,
Nothing.
exactly.
Then stop.
Nothing.
But then like learning that where it's like, no, it's for you. You get to release some of that goddamn cortisol.
Yeah. There are times when I'm like, I know that if I fucking started bawling right now, I would feel so much better in 20 minutes. But I can't do it. And I don't want to do the things that I know will make me do it, like think sad thoughts, because I'm trying so hard not to do that anyways.
Well, yeah, you gotta. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think you just have to be open when it really comes.
Yeah.
But that's a hard thing. It's all easy to say and hard to do.
Yeah. Well, Atonement, the movie Atonement, it's like 2013, I think. Oh, Keira Knightley and what's his adorable face from
James McAvoy.
Oh my God.
He's the greatest.
And Saoirse, how do you say her name?
Of the liver.
How do you say her name?
Saoirse Ronan.
Thank you. And fucking little what's her face from the fucking the football.
Keira Knightley?
No.
Juno Temple?
Yes, thank you, Juno Temple.
Oh, from I almost just said Ed Hardy. This is the saddest conversation we've ever
Let's
had.
edit this all out.
This is the 500th No. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. This is exactly our kind of podcast.
Okay, great. You
can't. We were basically up for 48 hours straight. So this is the result. This is what podcasting looks like when you're doing it like
when
that.
When you overdo it.
Yeah.
When you commit too much. Just too much stuff.
I'm going to give you a recommendation for your next crying movie.
Great.
Because it's a crier.
Yes, everyone give me airplane crying movies.
Yes.
Karen, go ahead.
Okay. This movie, first of all, I was about to say Atonement again. This movie stars Alan Rickman and Juliet Stevenson. British movie, very art housey, but an amazing director. It was one of his first big ones. I can't remember what director. It's like a great director. And it is called Truly Madly Deeply.
Okay, I've heard of it.
It's really brilliantly. It's like one of those things where I bet the person who, when they decided to make it, read the script and was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like great, beautifully written, very real and true.
Okay.
But then also a little bit magical.
Okay. Because it's so funny. With Atonement, I was like, this is like a book I would read. And normally I'd been like, I wish I read the book. But this is like the first time I've been like, I'm so glad I watched the movie because there's so many little details. Like I get cinematography now with the typing being part of the background and the music and the little moments that you just can't see when you're listening to or reading a book.
Yeah.
And actually, if you love the movie Atonement, I highly recommend the author Kate Morton. She does very similar style, that World War II, like epic.
Kind of historical.
Yeah. And like seeing Dunkirk, the way they show it, like you can picture it all you want when you're reading it, which I fucking love. But it was just done so well that I just don't think I would have, my imagination would have never taken me there.
And I think you're so right. Those war scenes in that movie are so gigantic and like
haunting,
really put you there.
And realistic. And then they like slice in real fucking footage from the time. I mean, it was just, I think, one of my favorite movies I've seen in a long time.
Now, Molly, please correct me when I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that it's the same director as Pride and Prejudice. Am I wrong about that?
Yes.
God damn it. Same.
500 episodes of the first time you're wrong about anything. Can you believe it?
Oh,
Joe Wright directed Pride and Prejudice, the new one. Anthony Minghella directed Truly Madly Deeply.
Oh, no, but Atonement.
Oh, Atonement. Wait, okay. You might not be. Hold on.
Oh my God, Second Chance.
Okay, I'm wrong. You're right.
Oh my
500
God.
episodes!
Oh my God, it feels so great.
How do you feel? Here, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I guess first I'd like to thank the Rapture.
Just kick the box.
I guess I have to thank Georgia because she's the reason I'm here.
Stephen
Thanks,
Ray
Georgia.
Morris.
Stephen. R.I.P.
He's not dead. We love you, Stephen. Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But Anthony, it's because when I watched it, loving the Pride and Prejudice so much, I was like, this man is unbelievable. Yeah. But Anthony Minghella is the director of Truly Madly Deeply, went on to direct The English Patient.
Oh, such a good book.
So
I read the book. Of course I read the book.
She always brags about the book.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of these.
Okay, good idea.
All right.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you, Molly. Thank you for your honesty and your vulnerability. Yeah.
And you're producing all these episodes, not 500, but
a lot.
Probably feels like it.
Probably these days. There's 3. So, you know what I was going to say for the 500th, and this, I don't know if this has happened to you. We've probably talked about it before, if it has, but I think it was the first time it happened to me when I was driving to work last week before we left for tour. I got off the freeway. I had just never seen a bumper sticker. I'd seen pictures of
in
bumper
the wild
stickers.
On your own. Yeah,
exactly. So not from my own car.
Yeah.
And so I pull up and it's SSGGM on the right side in the little talking bubble. And on the left side, there's just a sticker of Bigfoot. And I was like, this is my person. This is my friend I've never met before. And I'm just sitting there and I was like, honk, honk.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah. And the person, I was looking at them through their own rear view mirror. And they kind of weren't turning around. So I think they were just like, why is this asshole honking at me? So then I was like, honk, 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 honk. And I rolled my window down and stuck my arm and my whole head out the window. And I was like that. And they were like, they kind of look horrified.
Well, like, I borrowed my best friend's car and I don't know who this this woman is who's waving her whole body. She must also be my friend who loves that fucking podcast. This must be another person who loves that fucking podcast.
Or loves Bigfoot. Or
loves Bigfoot.
But
did she finally, did it dawn?
I think so. Right. I think at the end.
Well, if you have a SSDGM sticker and you're in Burbank, like...
Hey, what's up?
Karen said hi to you. Was that you? Let us know.
It was, let us know. But also, it was really exciting, even though I know that people like this podcast and people support this podcast.
No, they don't.
Do they? Get real. But... to see it like that in the wild, it truly was kind of like, almost like being able to see it through the eyes of the other. Yes. Like, that's what this kind of looks like.
It's always exciting.
Yeah, it was cool.
Cool. Well, besides from having a podcast and 500 episodes of it, we also have a podcast network.
Yeah, thousands of episodes on that thing.
Yeah, it's called Exactly Right Media, and here are a few highlights.
My Favorite Murder now has a brand new YouTube channel.
Yay!
So you can watch full episodes of this podcast, mini-sodes, shorts, and more at myfavoritemurder.video or by searching My Favorite Murder on YouTube.
They're holding us hostage and making us fucking 40-plus women make videos.
Oh,
and so please,
not YouTube. We really like YouTube.
Not YouTube. Just in general, Molly.
I'm saying.
Please go watch them so they're not for naught.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
All of our strivings and lips liner. Lips liner
and contouring is not for naught. And for all your other favorite Exactly Right shows like This Podcast Will Kill You, Ghosted by Roz Hernandez, Buried Bones, I Said No Gifts, you can still find them all at youtube.com/exactlyrightmedia.
And that's also where you can find MFM Animated. That's right. Our MFM Animateds are over at Exactly Right Media's YouTube page. And this week we have a brand new clip from the one and only Nick Terry featuring my iconic, and I'm only saying that because it's written here, drunk Karen voice from Minisode 63.
My absolute favorite. It's so good. Go watch it. And if that's not enough content for you, then and the crying content that I make, then you should join the fan cult at fancult.supercast.com for ad-free episodes of My Favorite Murder, exclusive audio and video, merch discounts, and access to our private Discord server.
Also, one last thing. As we said, we are on tour, and there are still some gold VIP packages available that include exclusive merch bundles, a signed poster, and more. So check your city availability and grab tickets at myfavoritemurder.com/live.
And thanks for doing all of that and more.
And caring at all about any of it.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye.
Buying clothes is easy. That's why everyone's always doing it.
But finding clothes you actually want to wear is the hard part.
Get all your favorite elevated essentials at Quince.
Quince specializes in effortless, high-quality essentials like ultra-soft organic cotton and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're beautifully tailored and built to last. And it's not just apparel. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel-quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples, essentials, and thoughtfully designed furniture.
They work directly with ethical factories, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup.
It's so true that they have wonderful items that aren't just clothes. I have like 3 of their 100% mulberry silk pillowcases. I've bought throws from there. I've bought bedding from there. And it is just as great quality as their clothes and super affordable.
Upgrade your everyday.
Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/MFM. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
Now available in Canada and the UK too.
QUINCE.com/MFM.
Goodbye.
The right piece of furniture can completely change your room.
And your life. It's amazing what one good couch can do for morale.
And that's why there's Article.
Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price.
They take great care in curating their collection, focusing on pieces that stand the test of time. There's no filler. Every item is chosen for its craftsmanship, design, and lasting value.
And with Article's 30-day satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence, knowing that if you're not completely in love with your new furniture, you can easily return it.
I recently needed to replace my old outdoor dining room table and chairs, so of course I went straight to Article. They have the Sarik outdoor dining set. I got it in khaki green. It's such a cute, like minty green. It looks so good in my backyard. I can't wait to have alfresco dinners all summer. You know, we can carve pumpkins on it in fall. It's so beautiful. Article knocked it out of the park once again.
Article's offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
To claim, visit article.com/murder and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout.
That's article.com/murder for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Goodbye. Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales event and get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models, from hybrids to EVs and more.
Score on the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Kona, Tucson, Santa Fe, or Palisade, or the bold and tech-inspired Elantra.
And the most advanced and capable Sonata or Sonata Hybrid yet. Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9.
But getting away with a great deal is just the beginning, because every new Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty.
Which means you can shop with confidence and drive with unrivaled peace of mind.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll truly love, but don't wait.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales event won't be around for long.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com now for details.
Goodbye.
Okay. You're first, right?
Yes, I am. This is a straight-up true crime story. And just as a trigger warning, it includes mention of sexual assault. It also takes place in and around one major roadway in the Pacific Northwest, Highway 20 in Oregon. Mm-hmm. That highway cuts across the state, west to east, running from the Pacific coast to Idaho, often through very remote areas. So this story is about 6 victims, all women whose lives were either ended or torn apart on this highway. They were all different ages and came from different walks of life. And we know more about some of these cases than we do about others. But what we will learn is that one psychopathic man who knew Highway 20 better than most is presumed to be responsible for what happened to all of them, and potentially many more women who have gone missing in the state of Oregon. This is the story of suspected serial killer, convicted murderer, and Oregon State highway mechanic, John Arthur Ackroyd.
Oh my God.
Marin basically got most of the research for this story from an award-winning multi-part series called Ghosts of Highway 20, produced by Oregonian journalists Noelle Crombie, Dave Killen, and Beth Nakamura. We begin in 1977 with 20-year-old Marlene Gabrielson. Marlene is originally from Alaska. She's a member of the Inupiaq tribe, but now she lives in the town of Lebanon in northwestern Oregon with her husband and their brand new baby daughter. So one night, the couple decides to drop their baby off with a sitter and head out to the rodeo in Sisters, Oregon, which is like an hour and a half away. And Marin left me a note, but I think it's a note worth reading, which is that Marlene is ID'd in this research because she very intentionally and very powerfully identifies herself in the Oregonians' reporting.
Wow.
Which is really amazing for what she has been through. So at some point that evening, when they're at the rodeo, Marlene decides to head home alone. She said that she doesn't really remember the specifics here, but it seems like this happened because her and her husband got into an argument. What we know for sure is that Marlene's husband stays behind with the car. And she goes, and because it's the late 70s, she's like, I'll just hitchhike home.
Totally.
It's very common in the late 70s. She's hitchhiking, and before long, a car pulls over, and inside a stranger introduces himself as John. Nothing about him rings any immediate alarm bells for Marlene. He says he's in his late 20s. He's back in town after spending time in the Army, and he works for a local welding company. So Marlene does get a ride home from John along Highway 20 towards Lebanon as promised. And this highway, basically at certain parts, are just long, dark, isolated stretches of road that are surrounded by dense evergreen forest. That's all that's out there. And there's some old logging roads that cut off from the highway, but that's basically it. So out in the middle of all of that, suddenly, John pulls over and violently drags Marlene out of her seat and puts a knife to her throat, threatening to kill her unless she does what he says. He then tears her clothes off, using his blade to cut her underwear and her boots off of her, and then he rapes her. After the attack, he tells Marlene, quote, "Now what do I do with you?"
Oh, my God.
So she knows what this means. He's considering killing her. But even in these horrific circumstances, Marlene comes up with an ingenious plan. Somehow she starts to act, and very convincingly act, like she's charmed by John. And it actually works. So much so, he asks her to be his girlfriend. And of course, she says yes. And I'll be your girlfriend as long as you take me home right now. And he drives her home, knife still at hand. When they get back to Lebanon, Marlene is able to get out of his car alive and go home.
Oh, my God.
So the first family member she encounters when she's there is her mother-in-law. And her mother-in-law is shocked to see the state that Marlene is in. So she urges Marlene to get in the shower and go clean herself up. And Marlene says, no, that would wash away evidence. I need to go straight to the hospital to get a rape kit.
Oh, my God. Incredible.
Yeah. And she even gives her clothes to the police from that night with all the information that she can remember about John Arthur Ackroyd. But it's the late 70s, so it's not surprising, but it's always heartbreaking hearing these stories. Instead of protecting her, these investigators immediately doubt her story.
The fuck? He cut her boots.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
But also, she's a Native woman.
Right.
So these are these built-in cultural excuses why people don't have to care, don't need empathy, or why they can be lazy.
Yeah.
And also just that energy and attitude around rape victims at that time.
Any woman at the time.
Yeah. It's so bad they actually make Marlene take a polygraph, and they decide she's lying about the sexual assault. So ultimately, they choose not to prosecute John Ackroyd. And years later, Marlene will tell reporter Noelle Crombie, quote, "I always thought that's why these people get paid, to protect you. They care, that's what I thought. But they made me feel like a smelly, drunken native. So I just shrank. If they had only listened to me." End quote. So John Ackroyd never faces any legal consequences for Marlene's brutal assaults, although, and this is obviously cold comfort and eye for an eye, he does get his ass kicked by Marlene's husband.
Great.
But the problem is that it's not just Marlene who suffers because of these investigators' dereliction of duty. It will lead to deadly consequences for many other women.
Right. Because now he knows, like, oh, I can't let them live. Right?
Yeah, and also that maybe it won't be that big of a deal,
right?
Whatever I decide to do.
Totally.
So fast forward about a year and a half from Marlene's assault, and now it's late December 1978, and John Ackroyd is employed by the state of Oregon as a highway mechanic. So in this job, he drives up and down Highway 20, usually between Bend and Newport, helping stranded motorists, repairing equipment, clearing wrecks, and maintaining remote stretches of road. This is literally a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like,
you've been given this power and a position of trust. Not even just trust, but like you have no other choice but to trust this person or like rely on this person.
Yes. The good faith that this person that's going to show up in a tow truck is helping you and not going to hurt you.
Totally.
Doesn't seem like it should be that much to ask. This job also gives him unique access to and familiarity with this highway as he navigates it alone in his work truck with little to no supervision. So on Christmas Eve, 1978, 35-year-old Kay Turner, who's a public health manager from Eugene, is on vacation with her husband and some friends in Camp Sherman, which is about 15 miles from Sisters, which is where Marlene and her husband went to the rodeo. Kay decides that she's going to go out for a run. She's a serious runner. She doesn't think twice about going and doing her workout routine. She tells her husband she'll probably be home in about an hour. After 2 hours pass and she still isn't back, her friends start searching for her. And soon the police join them and comb the area, wondering if maybe Kay somehow got lost out in the wilderness. And then they find some Nike running shoe prints that they think are Kay's, but there's also a large boot print there and signs of a struggle in the nearby dirt. In stark contrast to how Marlene is treated, though, the police immediately take Kay's case very seriously. She's a white woman. They immediately start to interview locals, and as they do, one name keeps coming up, John Aykroyd. He's interviewed on January 11th, 1979, a couple weeks after Kay goes missing, and he admits that he did see her running the morning of Christmas Eve. But the police get sidetracked. When they dig into Kay's private life, they learn that she's had extramarital affairs. So they focus on those leads, and they start scrutinizing her grieving husband.
Dude.
But this is all a dead end, and John Aykroyd manages, once again, to not be investigated. 8 months later, John Aykroyd reinserts himself into Kay's still active case. One afternoon, he walks into a store in Camp Sherman where Kay went missing and claims that he's just gone hunting and found bones and a pair of jogging shorts in the woods. He insists that these clothes must be Kay Turner's. So when investigators arrive at the scene and they speak to John, they immediately feel like he knows more than he's letting on. And when he's eventually polygraphed, he fails a question about whether he'd ever touched Kay, and he starts spinning a whole new theory. Now he suddenly claims that he'd first found Kay's body back in February, 2 months after she went missing, and he says she was lying in the snow with her throat cut and several visible bullet wounds. He tells police that he didn't report it then because he was afraid of becoming a suspect. Investigators smell a rat, and finally, John Aykroyd is on their radar, but they don't have any hard evidence, so they have to let him go. 12 years go by, and now it's 1990, and the investigators assigned to the Kay Turner case get a call from the Lynn County District Attorney. So to give you a sense of location, to get to Lynn County from Camp Sherman, where Kay was last seen, it's an hour's drive west on Highway 20. Lynn County is also where Marlene lives, and Sisters, Oregon is in nearby Deschutes County. So all of these areas are in the same general swath of Oregon, and they're all connected by Highway 20. So when the DA asks investigators if they've heard of a Lynn County resident named John Arthur Aykroyd, of course they say they have. The DA then explains that John's stepdaughter, 13-year-old Rashonda Pickle, has just been reported missing. Rashonda is a young girl. She's playful. She's silly. She loves animals. She's very close with her big brother, Byron, who's a year older than her. Rashonda's mother, Linda, describes her as, quote, wonderful, and adds, quote, you couldn't ask for anything sweeter. But life is not safe at home for Rashonda because in the mid-'80s, her mom marries John Aykroyd, believing that he's a good man, that she's providing stability for herself and her children. Instead, John reveals himself almost immediately as violent and abusive, particularly towards his stepchildren. Rashonda's in the 5th grade. She starts showing up to school with clear signs of physical abuse. She'll then confide to her friends that her stepfather is also sexually abusing her. Rashonda tries to stay with relatives or friends as much as she can. She's in 5th grade.
Yeah, no, that's just heartbreaking.
So she doesn't have to live under the same roof as him, and she does everything she can to avoid being alone with him. She and Byron lean on each other during this time. They just focus on turning 18 when they can finally escape his abuse and his household once and for all. In July of 1990, Rashonda finally tells her biological father about this abuse she's been suffering at the hands of John. And the biological father, lives in a different part of Oregon, so he calls the mother, Linda, and threatens to get the police involved. The next day, Rashonda vanishes.
No.
So the police learn that John was alone with Rashonda the day she vanished, which was frightening, knowing how desperately Rashonda tried to avoid ever being alone with him. But her mom was at work. Her brother was out of town visiting their father. John was supposed to be fixing a snowplow at his job. He'll later tell police that he'd taken the day off because he was waiting for parts to come in. But according to Noelle Crombie's reporting from the Oregonian, that made no sense to his supervisors because John had a lot of other work he could have been doing that day.
Right.
John claims that he invited Rashonda out into the woods to take pictures of deer. Mm-hmm. This is a claim that baffles everyone in the family because he's never shown an interest in wildlife photography. According to him, Rashonda turned down his offer and stayed behind at the house. And when he returned later that day after going to take pictures of deer by himself, she was gone. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's a ton of immediate suspicion around John. And while under interrogation, the mask begins to slip. He offers up a bizarre theory about a stranger coming to the door and abducting Rashonda, saying almost casually, quote, 87 pounds is nothing for somebody to carry. You hit him over the head and they have no fight.
Oh, my God. How fucking chilling.
Yeah.
Like to be in that interrogation room and hear that.
Yeah. And just knowing it's like, that's the thing that I think is amazing because psychopaths work very hard to be smart, but they always think they're the smartest people in the room. And it's that when you watch, any true crime show and you see what bad liars they are.
Yeah, not even bad liars. Like they think too that like the person they're telling this thing that, they think is totally normal to. But like to hear that, like that, if you're not a psychopath, hearing that is fucking chilling.
It's chilling. And then also, if you're not that person talking, and you clearly you're saying one thing, but what's actually coming through is, oh my God, you know how much she weighs.
Totally.
You've picked her up.
You know how to.
You're giving yourself away and you don't realize it.
Yeah.
The red flag of him knowing his stepdaughter's exact body weight is raised even higher when John tells investigators, unprompted, that on the night Rashonda disappeared, he and Linda had great sex.
Ew.
Yeah. As Noelle Crombie reports, this is, quote, significant because they almost never had sex. Aykroyd's low libido was the source of such open conflict that Linda's teenage son Byron knew of their troubles.
Oh.
Not healthy, not okay.
No.
Most disturbingly, though, John seems fixated on describing his stepdaughter's body in sexualized terms to the fucking police.
Dude, he's so,
Can't control it.
No.
He even tells officers her exact bra size at one point.
Oh, my God.
And when he's eventually shown a pair of pants that police find in the woods and believe are Rashonda's, he becomes sexually aroused in front of them.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, just a complete animal.
Like, that's the most... Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How have I never heard this?
Well, we're going to take a little break.
Oh, my
and everyone
God.
has to
so we
go
can go wash our fucking hands.
Bleach bath.
Ugh.
But again, the evidence against John Aykroyd is entirely circumstantial, so they have to let him go.
No.
The police are doing everything they can to build the strongest case they can against him, not only in Rashonda's case, but in Kay's, which is now picking up steam after being cold for several years. And that's because investigators on Kay's case are going back through the case file, and they are looking for new avenues to explore. And when they do that, they find the name Roger Dale Beck. Now, Roger was close friends with John Aykroyd, and he claimed to be with him the day that Kay was reported missing. And Roger's then-wife, Pam, provided their alibi for that morning, but police never looked into Roger's potential involvement in Kay's murder until now. So as they dig, police finally find the lead they've been waiting for. They learn from members of Roger's own family that on different occasions he'd bragged about raping and killing a jogger back in the late 70s. Yeah.
To who?
I mean, for real.
Like, can you imagine casually having beers with a friend or an acquaintance and them fucking, like, what? oh my God, like this is psychotic.
Well, and it's also like, can we get a little perspective here where it's like everything that people called political correctness in like the 90s was trying to correct shit like this, where it's like, hey, if your bro brags about raping and killing someone,
fucking around,
I don't know, make a phone call.
Yeah.
Pick up that phone.
No, he likes to brag about things. He makes up stories. He's still my very best friend. Like, what the fuck?
Insane. So when investigators try to reconfirm Roger and John's alibi for the day Kay went missing, Roger's now ex-wife, Pam, completely falls apart and tells them she lied. Both men had actually come home covered in blood on Christmas Eve of 1978. Roger made her burn his clothes, destroy his brand new boots, and threatened her into covering for him and John.
I'm sure he was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like the terror of that, and then what are you going to do? Stand up?
Right.
You know?
He'll know it was you.
Right.
I mean, they just... So now it's May 1992. This is 2 years after Rashonda goes missing. She still hasn't been found, but investigators working Kay Turner's disappearance have managed to put together a really strong case, and there is a sense that John Aykroyd could be charged at any moment. But before the authorities can close in, 2 more young women from the same area in Oregon go missing. They are 17-year-old Melissa Sanders from Sweet Home, Oregon, and 19-year-old Sheila Swanson of Lebanon. So Melissa and Sheila disappeared during a family camping trip with the Sanders family to the Oregon coast town of Newport.
They were together.
And the family was there too. The girls share a tent that night, but early the next morning when Melissa's family wakes up, they find both girls are gone. At first, their families think they hitchhiked home because Melissa and Sheila did sometimes spend days away from their families. They're, in their late teens.
Yeah.
And they'd actually even called their respective boyfriends to tell them they were going to leave the family camping trip. But when days pass with no sign of either of them, they're reported missing. Weeks later, in June of 1992, John Arthur Aykroyd is finally arrested for the murder of Kay Turner. Roger Dale Beck, his presumed accomplice in Kay's murder, is also arrested. This is 14 years after Kay went missing from Camp Sherman back in 1978, and 15 years since John's first known act of sexual violence against women, which was when Marlene was sexually assaulted in 1977.
God, imagine like being their families, or Marlene in this case, and waiting that long to even have movement in your... Like, I just...
But also... waiting that long knowing that this monster is just walking around, which is such a cliche, but when you think about the fact of it, where it's like...
Yeah, it's not like we don't know who it is, we haven't found, a suspect yet. It's like, it is clearly to everyone this fucking person.
It's this person and his fucking friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's horrifying. So right out of the gate, what police wonder that if John knew he was about to get arrested and decided to kill more women while he still had the chance.
Jesus.
But when he's pressed about Melissa and Sheila's disappearances, he doesn't admit anything. Several months later, in October of 1992, hunters find Melissa and Sheila's bodies in the woods outside Eddyville, Oregon, off Highway 20, about 20 miles from the campsite in Newport where the girls were. At the scene, police discover a rivet, which is something a mechanic might have, but they don't have much else to go on. Eventually, Melissa and Sheila's case goes cold. So the year after John's arrest in 1993, he's tried for the murder of Kay Turner. The case against him is largely circumstantial, but prosecutors lean into a few key pieces of evidence: Kay's Timex watch, her clothes, and her skeletal remains. So the watch is important because it stopped ticking the morning she disappeared, and it's presumed it stopped working at the time of the attack. It was broken. This gives police a pretty strong sense of the exact time she was killed, which that time frame dovetails with when John told police he had spoken with her. He told them that.
Yeah. Didn't he find her body too? Like,
he claims to have, yeah.
Right.
On top of that, forensic testing shows that Kay's clothes had been cut off, which calls back to the MO of Marlene Gabrielson's assault.
Which they didn't fucking believe happened.
So much suffering with that kind, just because of an ego move like that.
Totally. But don't worry, it's just women who are suffering.
That's right. So prosecutors also have John's own words, which are damning in and of themselves, because John did tell police he found Kay's body 2 months after she was killed. He thought she looked like she'd been slashed and shot. And the prosecution hammers home that he could not have known these things, given how badly the body had been decomposed. unless he was the man that killed her. The jury deliberates for 4 hours and comes back and convicts John Aykroyd on 2 counts of aggravated murder and 3 counts of murder. His accomplice, Roger Dale Beck, is also convicted. Again, this is one conviction when John Aykroyd is suspected of many crimes against women. Still, it's a huge victory for the investigators who worked to get him off the streets. One of those investigators is a man named Bill Hanlon, who championed Kay's case and is arguably the man who secured John Aykroyd's conviction.
Wow.
And he will later tell the Oregonian, quote, "It saved women's lives. If he had stayed out, if he had never been convicted, he and maybe Beck would have done more crimes and killed more women for sure. He managed to get through that whole thing without ever getting caught, not because he was all that smart, but because he slipped through," end quote. Here's my edit to that line, but because the police didn't do their jobs.
Right.
Fast forward to 2010. At this point, John has served nearly 2 decades in prison, and he's eligible for parole soon. 20 years. So because of that, detectives dig back into Rashonda's disappearance with renewed vigor. They're hoping they can create a strong enough case to bring charges and ensure John stays in prison for the rest of his life. But when they press him for information on Rashonda, he doesn't give anything up. Meanwhile, cold case investigators are also looking at the 1992 double murder of Melissa Sanders and Sheila Swanson. And in 2012, they pieced together information that had inexplicably gone overlooked in the 90s, probably because of sloppy police work. They learned that John Aykroyd was a regular at a 24-hour restaurant called Sherry's, which was frequented by local teens. And he had earned the nickname the Perv because of how creepy he was about all those teenage patrons of Sherry's restaurant. Among those patrons were Melissa and Sheila, who John had been seen interacting with at the restaurant. So witnesses come forward and tell police that they saw 2 teens hitchhiking and entering a state truck that matched the description of John's work vehicle.
Holy shit.
And the rivet found near the scene is determined to match the kind commonly carried by the highway workers. Most damningly, one of John's coworkers will later report seeing John covered in blood around the exact time the girls go missing. At first, his coworker dismissed it because John said he hit a deer with his truck and got bloody, clearing out the remains. So the whole incident goes unreported. But John never admits to any involvement in Melissa and Sheila's deaths. And because of that, there's still a lot we don't know about what happened to them. But the theory is that after talking with them at Sherry's, John knew the girls were camping at the coast that weekend and probably lied and say he'd be in the area if they wanted to get a ride home from him.
Right.
They could just let him know. And clearly, they took him up on that offer.
Yeah.
As investigators continue working Melissa and Sheila's case, there's movement in Rashonda's case. In 2013, 23 years after she was last seen alive, John Aykroyd pleads no contest to Rashonda Pickles' murder. This means that he neither admits nor denies having anything to do with her death. And in exchange for this no contest plea, which effectively closes Rashonda's case, he agrees to never pursue being paroled.
Like a literal deal with the devil.
Yeah. The plea is sealed for a long time, so we still don't know the details on why he does this, but it means he'll live the rest of his life behind bars.
It just feels so like this little girl was not important enough to pursue justice. It's like, let's use this as a throwaway bargaining chip. But unfortunately, it's the best possible.
Well, yeah.
Because everything's been so fucked, it's the best possible resolution.
Yeah. And
now.
it's a bargaining chip, but it's not a throwaway because it actually works.
Right.
So there is that. But yes, the idea that he is not in some way forced to tell them.
Right. Where her body is.
Admit
Where
it. Yes.
What he did to her. Yeah.
The answers for both Melissa and Sheila just don't have to be given.
And they've just been completely discarded by society.
Yeah.
It's just horrifying.
It feels like that whole metric needs to be readjusted to not like, what do we do just to keep him behind bars? Because we have to do whatever it takes. And it's like, no, just do whatever it takes to actually get the information out of him. Just a few years later, in December 2016, John Arthur Aykroyd dies in prison at age 67, taking many secrets, presumably, including the location of his own stepdaughter's body to the grave. So today, investigators suspect that John Arthur Ackroyd might be behind other unsolved cases in Oregon, many of which involve remains found near Highway 20.
Right.
This includes the 1976 cold case involving a victim found near the highway who was only known at the time as Swamp Mountain Jane Doe for decades, because of where she was found. Mm-hmm. Just days before this recording in September of 2025, police have announced genetic genealogy has now identified this person as Marion McWhorter.
Holy shit.
So they just figured out who this Jane Doe was.
Oh my God, chills.
Yeah, yeah. So for the families of his victims, the wounds will never heal. Rashonda Pickles' beloved brother, Byron, never stopped fighting for justice for his little sister. He keeps her memory alive by telling his children about Aunt Channy, which was her nickname, and he has a tattoo of her on his arm.
Byron.
Mm-hmm. Sheila's brother, Bart Swanson, has also been her biggest advocate over the years, helping to keep interest in her case alive. And he tells the Oregonian that he sometimes visits the location where her body was found, saying, quote, I go up there to, pretty much remind myself that I still haven't let it go and to let her know that I haven't let it go. Marlene Gabrielson has had to live with the trauma of being sexually assaulted and not being believed by the people who were supposed to fight for her after her attack. She tells the Oregonian, quote, I figured it was because I was nothing. I wasn't ever going to amount to anything. I was brown and I was ugly. So you're not going to amount to anything. You don't think you are. I think that's why I cowered so much back then. My first thought when I read that message, and she means from Noelle Crombie's, the reporter that reached out to her, was, why would she care? Because that's the whole mindset that I've had about this thing from the gate. But that's what made me come, because there was somebody who actually cared. This makes me feel really good, because there's a reason I am here, and I guess I am not that ugly, and I'm not worthless. I'm Marlene K. Gabrielson. I'm Inupiaq. I'm a strong woman.
Oh, my fucking God.
And that's the story of the investigation into John Arthur Ackroyd and those cases linked to Highway 20.
It's these, when everyone is just in the media, like, why do women love true crime so much? It's so like, what's wrong with you that you're interested? And it's like, because this is how little we have mattered for so fucking long. If you think it's that different now, then you're not paying attention.
Then please log on to any website and check out what our bodily autonomy status is. But also,
we're interested because we care. Can you imagine caring that much?
But also we're interested because it's about us. And especially like in Marlene's case, the more marginalized you are, the more you're affected and the less people help you. So we as white women care and get upset, but it's like, but as you go and you're more marginalized and you're less represented and you're less empowered, people care less and less.
Totally.
Until people literally are like, oh, you came here to report a rape and we're going to fucking polygraph you.
Right. You're throwaway.
Bullshit.
It's like we have to care 10 times as much because we're cared about as women 10 times less.
Well, and also it's like, guess what? Women are 50% of the fucking population, if not 51. So our caring is like, everybody can just stop asking that question.
Yeah.
You just accept the fact that women are concerned and care, and it's about themselves as much as it's about other women, because we have to for each other.
Right.
That's the idea.
Exactly. We're the targets. Wow, I don't want to do my story now because it is so different from that.
Well,
great job.
Thank you. What do you mean? This is what we do.
I know.
Have you seen the big lit up number? Come on.
Balloon.
We got balloons, for God's sake.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models, from hybrids to EVs and more.
Score on the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Kona, Tucson, Santa Fe, or Palisade, or the bold and tech-inspired Elantra.
And the most advanced and capable Sonata or Sonata Hybrid yet. Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9.
But getting away with a great deal is just the beginning, because every new Hyundai is backed by America's Best Warranty.
Which means you can shop with confidence and drive with unrivaled peace of mind.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll truly love, but don't wait.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event won't be around for long.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com now for details.
Goodbye. This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards, now streaming on Hulu.
Goodbye. Grocery shopping seems like it should take 20 minutes.
And then 2 hours later, you're standing at the checkout with a frozen pizza and 6 different types of chips.
Lucky for you, there's Hungry Root.
Hungry Root is like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist all wrapped in one. They'll take care of the weekly grocery shopping and recommend groceries and meals tailored to you.
Once you tell them about your goals and preferences, they fill your cart with personalized recommendations. And those recommendations get smarter as Hungry Root learns more about what you did or didn't like.
Most of Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less. You can't get any easier than one pan shakshuka. I've always said that.
Yeah, I love the convenience and also the fact that I don't have to go park anywhere.
Thank God Hungry Root's around to help us shop and help us build really healthy and delicious meals.
For a limited time, get 40% off your first order, plus get a free item in every box for life.
Go to hungryroot.com/MFM and use code MFM.
That's hungryroot.com/MFM, code MFM to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. Goodbye. There's nothing better than just laying around.
Whether you're fully horizontal or at a slant, it cannot be beaten.
Unless, of course, you have a Lola blanket.
Lola is the world's #1 blanket, crafted with ultra-soft luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart.
Their products are machine washable and double hemmed for durability, and they stay flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes.
And there's more. Lola also makes weighted blankets, matching pillow sets, and super soft pet beds.
Lola is a great go-to gift. It's personal, beautiful, and something your loved ones can actually use every day.
For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blankets products with code MFM at checkout.
Just head to lolablankets.com and use code MFM to get 40% off your order.
After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you.
Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets.
Goodbye.
Okay.
You know, changing it up is what we're all about.
Yeah, great job. That
Thank you.
was an incredible story I'd never heard before, and I'm shocked and horrified.
I mean, it's so horrifying. I really liked, our producer Molly suggested just doing straight up true crime.
Yeah, for a 500th.
Yeah. And just, like a classic. And Maren did an amazing job.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Well, mine is mine is true crime. Really.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know what it is? Because we're going to start in Sherman Oaks or Beverly Hills, depending on who's fucking arguing about zip codes.
Do people in Sherman Oaks think they in any way live in Beverly Hills?
No, but there's a weird zip code dispute going on that we're not getting into.
I'm going to get into it myself.
Okay, we're in Sherman Oaks, technically, at 5 a.m. on the morning of December 20th, 2008. Remember 2008?
I do.
Bring
a very
yourself.
innocent time.
Yeah. Very stupid. A security guard in the gated community of the Mulholland Estates has just realized that something is amiss at one of the mansions in the neighborhood. Oh. When the guard gets to the front door, he sees that it's opened. No one appears to be in the house, but he can tell the house has been ransacked. He calls the police, and once they arrive, it becomes clear that burglars have taken a whopping $2 million worth of jewelry and watches from this estate.
Yeah.
In today's money, that $2 million would be...
You said it was 2008?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little less than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
2 mil?
In today's money...
3.5?
3, but great job.
I mean, I'm
that
getting
was
closer.
So close. Yeah, that was great. Police look at surveillance footage, which shows what appears to be a man in a sweatshirt, who's the burglar, and they say the person seems to know the house well. What police do not know yet is that this burglar is not a professional who's been casing the joint. And also, the mansion doesn't belong to just any old person. It's Paris Hilton's home.
Oh.
And it's been hit 3 times before by this same group of burglars.
The bling
That's
ring.
right, Karen. That's why I was like, I can't do this now. It's literally called the bling ring.
Yes. No, this is what we like. We do hot and cold, yin and yang, back and forth.
Yes.
The full scope of life.
We're a fucking paradox. This group, mostly teenagers, would go on to burglarize the homes of celebrities for close to a year before finally being caught. This is a story about obsession with celebrity and status, but maybe also a story about how our teenage selves aren't necessarily the people we are forever, but our mistakes sure are. Mm-hmm. This is the story of the bling ring.
The bling ring.
Did you ever watch the documentary about it?
No, I just watched the movie.
Okay, got it. Well, the main sources for the story is a Vanity Fair article that was written by a woman named Nancy Jo Sales called The Suspects Wore Louboutins. And that was the basis for the Sofia Coppola movie, The Bling Ring. And there's also a 2023 HBO documentary called The Ringleader. And then another documentary that I watched called The Real Bling Ring, Hollywood Heist. And then also a short-lived reality show called Pretty Wild. And the rest of the sources can be found in the show notes.
This movie, when I saw it, it's like that kind of thing where I don't like thinking about other people's families sometimes because I'm like, it's just very Irish Catholic of me, but I'm like, they're not doing it right. That's not how you're supposed to do it.
And you think like the teenagers were raised wrong or what?
Yes. Leslie Mann plays this mom.
She's so amazing. Like, you don't even have to say more about what Leslie Mann played because I fucking know who she, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
but there's a part where she's like, she doesn't care if the girls go to school. She just wants them to work on their like affirmation manifestation boards.
I know the mother
and I'm like,
you're literally talking about. I know who you're talking about. And I watched a little bit of like the reality stuff and I felt the same way about her.
You're just like, get the stomachache of like,
oh no.
It's either they don't have a chance in the world or the world doesn't have a chance against people like this.
Totally. It very much made me go, wow, I'm so glad I don't have teenage daughters.
Ugh.
Like, I just... yeah, I love that Leslie Mann playing the mom. Okay.
She's really good.
She's so good. Okay, to understand the bling ring, we really have to go back to the celebrity media landscape of the early 2000s because it is so fucking different than it is now. And thank God there's like kind of a reckoning happening, but it was so trashy and so awful and so insidious and so, damaging to our psyche back then.
Yes.
For sure.
Horrifying.
Right? So like at this time in the early 2000s, Us Magazine goes from being a monthly industry-focused magazine to being a weekly magazine focusing squarely on celebrities. So actually Sofia Coppola cites this as the inciting incident that fomented the culture that resulted in the robberies because of this magazine.
That makes sense.
The magazine, and the ones that quickly copied it, was full of paparazzi photos of celebrities, some of them actual movie stars, some of them reality stars, some people whose names you know, but you're not even sure why. Like this is when Paris Hilton became famous for just being Paris Hilton, and which, launched just so many just celebrities who were just...
They didn't really do any. It wasn't like they were talents.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my God, what a great actor. Now I want to see them at the gas station.
No,
it was just fame.
Which also meant to a lot of younger people that they could possibly do that as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like there was an opportunity just to be famous for being famous.
Yeah. That was simultaneous with like American Idol kind of TV
Right.
shows where literally it was just like, you can.
Yeah.
You can go stand in line out in front of CBS
Right.
and see if you can.
Totally.
I remember getting a job in the late 90s writing those. They used to do like basically fashion police. I think it was called fashion police.
Yeah.
And it was just like they would show a picture of a celebrity with a fucked up outfit on. And then there was all these commentators.
I remember just tearing them apart.
And I did it. I did it like for 3 different times. I think I did it.
Yeah.
And you would write like each celebrity picture they'd give you had to write like 5 jokes. So
Yeah.
they'd pick one from
I
each.
remember this. Yeah.
And the only place you could go was mean and meaner and meaner.
Yeah.
And I remember on the 3rd one, I went, what the fuck am I doing? And then I just didn't turn it in and I
Yeah.
never got asked to do it again. Where I was like, this is not like, yes, it's good to have $150,
Yeah.
but like, what the fuck is this for?
Well, that's exactly it. Because I was also going to say they did things like who wore it better.
Yes.
Where they'd show a photo of 2 women always wearing the same outfit and then tear one of them apart and say the other one looked amazing.
Yes.
You couldn't choose both being like looking great.
No.
Who wore it better? There was stars without makeup. And then there was best and worst beach bodies. It
Oh.
was so toxic. It
Yeah.
was just... it just, created a generation of women with eating disorders, myself included.
Entirely. And it's the launching pad for the Facebook's Hot or Not world, where women absolutely were primed to be like, oh, wait, I guess I need to figure out if I'm hot or not, and then try to get hot so that I'm not a not.
Otherwise, I don't have worth at all.
That was everything.
Yes. And so, there's this frothing paparazzi culture who is just making so much money off of this. That's what it was like. And it's in this environment in 2006 that a girl named Rachel Lee and Nick Prugo first find each other as sophomores at Indian Hills High School, which caters to kids who have struggled in more traditional schools in Calabasas.
Rich juvie kids.
Rich kids who can't, I mean, essentially, I went to one of those schools in Irvine, you know what I mean? Which, it was called Self, and it was the, you hate school, and you're not doing well, and your family doesn't force you to go to school, so this is what you have to do now to, get to graduate.
Oh, so basically...
It was, the alternate school, where PE was ping pong, so I'm pretty good at ping pong now. I only went there for, a semester and went back to regular school because I was just I have to do something with my life.
Yeah.
But it was all the kids. Basically, it was any kid in this affluent neighborhood that had broken families.
Wow.
Really, that's all we had in common and became friends, is because none of us had supervision. We were neglected. We didn't have the money that everyone else had. And so we didn't really give a shit about school.
Yeah.
And we were fucking teased there. We were made fun of there. We were I didn't want to go there. I was I was a total outcast.
Yep.
So why would I go? Instead, you go to Self, where people are actually nice to you.
And you get to play some ping pong.
And some fucking hardcore ping pong. Yeah. So I get it. And also and eventually, when I was in my early 20s, I was a lunch lady in the Valley at one of these schools myself for elementary through high school. And these were the sweetest, most wonderful kids who couldn't hack it in the LAUSD school system in the Valley. And I'm telling you, more than half of them were living in group homes. So these were not bad kids.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the resources that everyone else had.
Yeah, the support. And also, it's weird because there's some kids who have nothing but resources.
Right.
And it's not a good thing.
No.
Yeah.
It's also where I met Uncrustables. Because the kids loved them. And I was like, I'm going to try this.
Yes.
Lived off of them. Okay, so enough about me and Uncrustables. So this girl, Rachel Lee and Nick Prugo, they meet each other at this school, and they both have issues getting along with their families. Rachel had been kicked out of Calabasas High School for stealing something from another girl, and Nick was kicked out of Calabasas High School as well for excessive absences, which is the fact that you're just punished for that instead of what's going on in his life, that he's not coming to school.
Yes.
Is so horrifying to me.
Yeah, it's so basically there's clearly a lack of support.
Right.
And
you're a child and you're being held responsible for the fact that
no one will get you to school on time.
There's no follow through. Yeah. Maybe you have some, and also he had been a troubled kid. He had been diagnosed with ADHD. So he probably wasn't taken care of the way he needed to be.
Yeah.
So these kids, I feel for them. So Nick and Rachel, they feel like outsiders, and then they meet each other and just fall immediately in friendship, love. Nick is gay during a time when the average high schooler hears gay slurs multiple times a day. It was very casual then. Rachel's Korean and has always felt out of place in her majority white town. And it's at a time when the beauty standard is blindingly white and being beautiful is seen as a teenager's highest duty. So it's really depressing for them. They're both very into fashion and celebrities and the very luxury brand-focused aesthetic of the era. You remember Jisoo Couture? You had a whole wardrobe full of it.
My whole ass was covered in that brand. But also, I think there's, especially in the Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Valley in Beverly Hills.
Totally.
That's the center of materialistic kind of here's what anybody cares about. What kind of car do you drive?
And it's aspirational. You could easily become part of that world if you play your cards right.
Yeah.
As Rachel will put it many years later, quote, "I felt this insatiable energy to have as much as I could have, but that was kind of the energy back then." End quote. And so Rachel and Nick quickly form a deep, all-consuming friendship. Remember those fucking friendships from high school that were so amazing? They're always talking or texting or IMing each other, and they just find this kindred spirit in each other. So sometime in 2007, Nick and Rachel start burglarizing homes. I don't know why. Like, I feel for them, and I feel like by the grace of God, there goes moi. Not burglarizing, just doing really fucking stupid shit a time when stupid shit sticks to you.
Permanent record stuff.
Exactly. Early 90s, you can't track my shit.
But hold on, how did they get to that?
Okay.
Here's
what happened.
Insane.
It's kind of brilliant. They find out that a classmate is going to be out of town with their family. It's a rich as fuck family. And so they go there when they know no one's going to be home. And they break in. At this classmate's house, they find a box with thousands of dollars of cash in it. It's originally reported as $8,000, but it gets bandied about. Maybe it was over $20,000. In today's money, it could have been worth about $40,000, but they find it and they take it and they go on a shopping spree on Rodeo Drive with it. And I fucking get this thing of like, how come everyone, because I used to shoplift when I was a kid. I will say that right now. You can't fucking come get me, or come fucking get me if you want, but I was underage. I used to shoplift, and it was this feeling of like, I deserve this. Everyone else in my affluent community has everything they want. I get made fun of for not. I fucking deserve this, which clearly isn't true, but I was a child. So it made absolute sense to me that like,
it'll solve the problem.
Yeah, like this is how I get mine too. So I get that. I wrote about it in our book. So they do that hit, and then they take up this hobby that they call checking cars. And so they basically just walk by luxury cars in their neighborhood and see if the doors are unlocked. Lock your fucking doors, right? Like, as we always say, when they find one that is open, they plunder it for cash and credit cards and then go on more shopping trips with this. By their senior year of high school, the fall of 2008, they hatch a plan to start robbing celebrities' houses and decide they're going to start with Paris Hilton.
Why not?
Yeah. It's so easy for them to do this. They find a subscription-based website that lists celebrity home addresses on it. And then they go to Google Earth to kind of map out the house, like see routes to get into the house. And then they go on social media and like TMZ and see the celebrity themselves saying, I'm in Ibiza, I'm in New York filming this thing, I'm going to be out tonight at this fucking bar. And so they just know when the celebrity's going to be out of town. They know where they live. They know how to get in.
Yeah. They can track it all. Thank you, Us Magazine.
Yeah, it's creepily easy for them to do this.
The innocent days of the early internet.
Right. So they study TMZ and Paris Hilton social media and know she's going to be out of town for a few days in October. They look at her gated community on Google Earth and they find a hill in the back of the house where they think they can get onto the property without being noticed. And it works. When they approach the front door of Paris's 8,000 square foot Mediterranean-style mansion, they find a key under the mat. That's how safe she feels in her community.
Also, she doesn't have a house sitter?
I know.
Just a rich person that doesn't just have someone there?
I don't think they think about it then.
I guess they didn't.
They do now.
They didn't have to.
Right. When we go out of town at all for touring, my friend stays at our house, not just because we have pets, but because I don't want to leave a home completely unattended. There's never not someone at my house.
Yeah, we get it. No one can rob you.
They find a key under the mat and they let themselves in. On this first visit, they kind of just explore her house. They go into the nightclub room. Like, this is a very wealthy woman. Then they do this they do this very smart thing where they fish through all of her purses because she has hundreds of beautiful purses and she goes out all the time. And so there's just crumpled bills in every purse from all her nights out.
That's really smart.
Hundreds and 50s that she just crams back in her purse, puts her purse back on. Eventually she'll grab it again. And, like, she doesn't care that there are all these wadded up dollars.
She is literally filthy rich.
Exactly. So they take all of those. They say they take a lot of coke. Like, they find, baggies of coke in the purses, but we're like, that's allegedly, we don't want Paris Hilton, who's the victim of this crime. We don't want to be like saying that she's a fucking cokehead. Seems like they were careful to make it not totally obvious that someone had been there. Like, so I don't know if she knew at first.
She has a nightclub room. She didn't notice.
Exactly. So they take little things like a bottle of Grey Goose on the way out, that sort of thing. They return to Paris's house 2 more times that fall, and they also start bringing some of their other friends and associates into the scheme, which is a bad idea.
Big mistake, yeah.
It feels a little less like a scheme, though, and more like the way teens like to break into abandoned buildings. They're just kind of trying their luck in a way.
Yeah.
And they're so unaware of the consequences that your stupid fucking actions as a teenager will bring.
Especially when what's really taking up most of your attention is, can I get a Chanel purse? Can I get a label, fill in the blank?
And I'm not good enough unless I have those things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Part of this includes stealing many thousands of dollars worth of clothing and jewelry for them to wear. Like, they just want to dress the part. In the expanded group, there are some other kids from their school, some friends of friends. It kind of becomes this like unorganized group of people who are all doing this together. And there are a couple older adults, though. This includes a man named Roy Lopez Jr., whom one of the group knows from her job at a restaurant, and a man named Johnny Ajar, who goes by your favorite name ever.
Johnny
Dangerous. Johnny Dangerous. You had the first part right.
Well, yeah.
Because his name is Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny Dangerous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what's Johnny Dangerous's deal?
You're going to be shocked to hear this.
Okay.
He's a Hollywood promoter.
What?
I don't think everyone who doesn't live in LA knows, like, promoters, Hollywood nightclub promoters, especially back in the early 2000s and like late 90s, were just this like breed of dude.
Toothpick dudes.
Oh, they were like slimy, but they could probably get you into the club for sure, especially if you were underage.
Slimy, but not unattractive.
Yes.
Kind of, there's a charisma there, but also...
Because they're like businessmen.
Yes, they are.
Or they're like marketing people.
I told you about that. This is one of my favorite memories, and I'm going to try to do it quickly.
Okay.
I was remember the old DMV that used to be off of Vine between Sunset and Hollywood? And it was there's like a DMV there.
Yes.
I'd always go there because there was rarely a line.
Yeah.
So I was driving in that neighborhood and I was taking a right-hand turn in my old car. Simultaneously, there was this dude taking a left. So our cars were passing and our window, we were passing each other. And he was super good looking, but he was like shaved head.
Yeah. Very clean cut, like
Well,
sharp.
This guy was like super tan and he had a V-neck silk shirt that was open, like way open down here. And he had a big necklace and he had like a big ring. He had a toothpick in his mouth. And I was just like, staring at him because I was like, who is this guy? Like as we're passing each other. And he just very slowly puts his arm out the window and points at me. So as we're passing, he just like does one of those as we go by.
Oh my God, like acknowledging your existence.
And I was like, I love the idea of like this. He looked like a nightclub owner or a promoter.
It's a totally different thing.
And I'm like his nerdy comic girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like it was this idea of like how hilarious, but then he'd also like give me Coke.
He would absolutely give you Coke. He would get you into Ledoux, which is what the nightclub of the time. Like seriously. So Johnny Dangerous was a promoter for the Hollywood nightclub Ledoux. Remember Ledoux? Ledoux.
I remember it, but I don't know what it looked like.
It was on the hills all the time. Like that's where they all went to or worked or whatever. So it was a big deal. And he'd get these underage kids who are not famous people into Ledoux. He was the promoter, the big Hollywood promoter. It's a big deal.
It feels like the culture is being lost.
I'm sure it's still there. We could go to Hollywood Boulevard right now and meet 4 promoters within 20 minutes.
And we'd be like, hey, and they'd be like, I can't see you. You're over
Mom,
25.
No, you're a mom.
You're not invited.
Yeah, there's no MILFs. Okay. So Roy, the other guy, is actually the one captured on security footage in the December Paris Hilton burglary. And that ends up being the one to first be publicized. Johnny Dangerous mostly acts as a fence, like buying the stolen goods to sell them because the kids can't. What are they going to go into a pawn shop with Paris Hilton's fucking like heirloom family jewelry and sell it on the market? No.
I just thought about Paris Hilton coming home from Ibiza or whatever it is and being like, hey, I put $8,000 in this purse.
Sure.
Wait a second.
Did Nikki borrow this purse? And then Nick later says, sweet Nick, he says, quote, he gave us $5,000 for like 10 Rolexes, which I guess is a ripoff now that I think about it. End quote. How much is a Rolex worth?
$50,000, aren't they?
Like, and so 10 Rolexes, these like that just shows how naive and young they are.
Yeah.
He was like, here's $5,000. And they're like, oh my God.
Thank you so much.
That's so incredible. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit muddy regarding like when each of the members of the Bling Ring get involved. It's very loose. It's clear
There's no official history.
Yeah, you're not going to believe it. It's clear that the network expands quickly between Rachel and Nick's first burglary in October and the fourth one in December, since Rachel and Nick didn't actually really even know the guy Roy, the one who was in the security footage. It's almost like
some guy heard about it too.
Yeah, so it's not actually a group. And then the burglaries continue over the course of the entire school year and into the summer, with various members of this group, but always Rachel and Nick. So they kind of are the ringleaders, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
In February of that year, Rachel and Nick robbed the home of Adrena Patridge, one of the stars of The Hills.
Adrena Partridge.
It says Patridge in everything I've read, and I always thought it was Partridge.
It is Partridge.
I think it's Patridge.
What was she on?
The Hills.
The Hills.
Have eyes.
Iconic TV show,
Yeah.
The Hills.
Heard of it?
What?
I did. I watched the shit out of it. Literally until I read this research by Allie, I would have said Partridge. And then I saw that. I saw it in the Vanity Fair article. It's spelled Patridge. By the way, I want to leave all of this in. And Audrina, if you're a murderino, we're so sorry.
I wouldn't dare edit it out.
Thank you, Molly.
It's clearly gold.
And she says, quote, they took bags and bags of stuff. They took my great-grandma's jewelry, my passport, my laptop, jeans made to fit my body to perfect shape, which, like, can I get that done? I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
No, you can't. The answer's no.
God damn it. The estimated value of her stolen property was $43,000. But more than that, she is terrified from this. And I've never think fucking God had a break-in, but I think the sense of security that you lose when that happens is just psychologically so fucked up, especially from a reality star. Like, she's not, a movie star that agreed to this life. I mean, she did because she's a reality star.
But she was like in high school when she agreed to it.
Yeah.
Is she the one that lived in that very glass boxy house that was up above Sunset down by like Sunset Junction?
I don't know. How do you know that?
Because I remember I spent a lot of time at the
I know that
E-channel.
boxy house. Yes.
And I remember the video with the guy with the like a hooded sweatshirt and people jumping over the fence.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah. And it's like, that's when I realized, like, oh, that's right. You're totally exposed if people know where you live.
Right. Exactly. Actually, and she shares the footage of this robbery right away with the police and the media. And it's pretty clear. You can see Nick and Rachel in it, but nothing comes of that until later. So the group hits Rachel Bilson's house in May from the OC. They have a trend, clear, right? Rachel Bilson's from the OC, right? Yeah.
I think so.
I'm from literally the OC, and I don't remember where these people are from. Then in July, they hit Orlando Bloom's house, mostly because his girlfriend at the time is Miranda Kerr, and she has really fucking good clothes. So they hit his house. That night, they allegedly steal $500,000 in Rolex watches, allegedly, which is probably 2 Rolex watches.
Yeah, exactly.
Louis Vuitton luggage, artwork. I mean, it seems like they just have all the time in the world in these houses and they take advantage of it.
And also all the choices in the world, because this is like rich people like having too much money and collecting stuff.
And not having security.
Yeah. Or a house sitter.
A house sitter, security, a fucking dog, a Rottweiler with knives taped to it, like anything.
Plants that someone has to come and water twice a day, like something.
The Orlando Bloom robbery is where 18-year-old Alexis Nyers claims she comes into the story. And she's the daughter of the secret manifestation mother.
Yes.
So she claims this when she comes into the story. She says she's a drag-along. And it's like, I don't know, allegedly.
I mean, if there's a group of kids that are going around robbing celebrities' houses, you're going to want to tell all the kids at school that you're out in front and you're the leader of the gang.
That's
and
true.
Then once you get caught, you're going to be like, I barely even understood what was happening.
Exactly.
And I do think, I do think that I remember them trying to turn that story with the Adrena Partridge break-in because they were talking about how scared she was, where it's like, the times I've sat at my house in the middle of the night with the dogs barking, thinking someone is breaking into my house, and it is the fucking scariest thing.
Yeah.
And of course, it was raccoons or whatever, but like a horrible threat, a horrible thing to go to, even if you're not home. That means someone actually did it and was there.
The violation of someone walking through this place that's like your sanctuary that you created, especially when you're a famous person, to get away from all of that.
Yeah.
And it's not safe and nothing's safe. And they've taken your grandma's jewelry. Like, I totally
horrible.
Can't imagine.
But then, it's cute when you know it's these teenagers that are being rebels.
Yeah, well, she initially was like, I couldn't believe it when I saw the footage because I figured, I was also terrified that it was these like big scary men.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it was still confusing. Yeah. So Alexis, this 18-year-old, had known Nick and Rachel from Indian Hills High School, but she had dropped out to pursue modeling. And she's at the time being homeschooled by her mother, Andrea Leslie Mann. That's who it was. Specifically, Andrea says she's basing her curriculum around the movie, not the book, The Secret.
Yeah.
The family believes firmly in the law of attraction and frequently says, quote, and so it is.
Wow.
That's their like, hey, I want to be famous. And so it is. which is so culty. Isn't it culty?
I mean, it's so LA. It's so, and because sometimes it works. And it's like,
yeah.
Sometimes it works. And if you're delusional enough and
to believe that's why.
Petite and hot enough, I guess, or whatever.
And then think you earned it because you did that and they didn't. And it's like, well, you should, it's just.
And so it is.
Petite and hot enough. And you live in what are those apartments, the Oakwoods?
Yes.
And you just all you want is to make it.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
God.
There's no negative in making it. That's the idea. It's
yes.
There's no you can't do anything bad if it results in you making it because it was worth it.
Yes, no matter what.
Is it? Alexis's best friend is a 19-year-old named Tess Taylor, and she lives in the house as well. Andrea treats her like another daughter. And then they're the ones who end up having that reality show, Pretty Wild, for a short time. The way it's presented on the reality show, Alexis and Taylor are very focused on becoming famous. And Andrea, the mother, is even more focused on this, Leslie Mann. And it appears that Alexis is raised in a family that prioritizes fame and proximity to fame over everything else.
Yeah.
And we know this because it's all chronicled on Pretty Wild, which starts filming at the time because they are following Alexis and Tess's life as little hellraisers in the Los Angeles club scene, like going to Ledoux.
They're looking for the new Paris Hilton
exactly.
and Nikki. No, that's her sister.
Nicole Richie. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's about that at first, about their attempts at, going to modeling auditions and becoming famous, but it doesn't turn into that. But back to the summer, over the summer, all the kids in the Bling Ring are pretty blatant with their spoils. They are photographed in celebrities' clothes on their social media with fucking Rolexes and shit.
So stupid.
I know. They brag pretty openly about it among their peers. One day, Rachel and Nick and possibly others spread out a blanket on Venice Beach and start selling stolen goods from celebrities' houses.
Guys,
they
cry for help.
Are teenagers doing dumbass teenage shit, which is why I'm so glad I'll never have a teenage child, just a nephew that I can be the cool aunt to.
Yeah, that's right.
So then at the end of July, TMZ re-ups the security footage from the burglary back in February at Audrina P's house. For some reason, she had shared it back when it happened, but for some reason now people are more interested in it. And Nick and Rachel are pretty identifiable in it. It's that footage you've seen. They really barely try to cover their faces at all. They have hoodies on and that's kind of it. So friends are calling them about it. Rachel decides to move in with her father, who's an accountant and professional gambler who lives in Vegas, to have a low profile, but she cannot resist the pull to do that one last job.
Oh,
it's
no.
so classic. You're done. You're in a different state. Go fucking...
You got out. Stay out.
Yeah, go be a... What's it called?
Dealer?
Yes. Not a drug dealer. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I was doing cards, not drugs.
She was doing poker dealer gestures.
One night in August, one of the members of the ring, we're not sure who, calls Rachel and says, quote, "Let's go steal," end quote. The intended target is Lindsay Lohan, who pretty much is the white whale for any fashion-loving teenage burglar in the mid-2000s. She's the famousest of the famousest.
Yes.
And the most big party girl, too.
She's a big party girl. Also, I think I read, and this is alleged, so don't hold against me, but there was a lot of stories about her taking clothing, really expensive clothing.
From sets.
Yes. And from places where I think she had probably she was famous and had been since she was a child.
Yeah.
And she kind of had the same disease, it sounds like.
That's entitlement disease. Yeah. Rachel makes the 4-hour drive to Los Angeles in order to participate in that. She's like, "Don't go, wait for me, here I come." So that happens, and then very shortly after this, the walls start closing in. Several people anonymously tip the police about the members of the Bling Ring because they fucking know them from Calabasas fucking high school or whatever.
Yeah, and one of them probably the boy she liked them, and then she's like, I'm dropping a dime on you now.
Totally. Alexis Nyers, it turns out, is one of the anonymous tipsters, which is weird because she is actually part of the group, even though she insists that she didn't know what was happening and didn't participate. In September, Nick Prugo is arrested based on one of these tips. And he's a child. He confesses to not just everything, but everything and stuff the cops don't even know is related to the Bling Ring. That's how sweet and innocent he is. He's just yes, it was me. Here's what we did. I didn't know it was illegal or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This includes a burglary from 90210 actor Brian Austin Green's house, which they broke into because he was dating Megan Fox, who's so fucking well-dressed at the time.
Yeah.
But the thieves also wind up stealing a handgun from him,
Oh.
which is scary.
Yeah.
Nick turns in tons of stolen watches and jewelry and is photographed for his mugshot And in the mugshot, he's wearing one of Orlando Bloom's T-shirts.
Jesus.
Like they're just children. I'm not saying that any of this is okay.
But they got away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a part of it that's kind of delightful.
Totally. Nick calls Rachel after his publicized arrest. And even though rationally she knows he got arrested, and she's probably like, I shouldn't talk to him when he's calling me. I bet this is being recorded. But she talks to him anyways. And Nick casually says to her, hey, remind me what your dad's address is in Vegas where you're staying. Moments later, the police bang on her door and find her. They search her house and find, a bunch of stuff, including a nude personal photo of Paris Hilton that they had stolen, which is pretty shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When Alexis's warrant is...
Why doesn't Paris Hilton have a safe?
100%.
She's from the richest of the rich.
Yeah.
Like, isn't there some sort of internal protocol with these people?
Yeah.
I mean, the Kilgare family version of that is my dad had a big bowl that he used to put his spare change in. And then we would go steal change out of the bowl.
My sister had one of those, like, children's lock boxes that all you had to do was, like, find the opening and it, and then I'd go buy like fucking
You're like, that's
Reese's
my
Pieces,
$3.
exactly,
yes.
in
Totally.
Quarters. Yeah, exactly.
My dad would be like, quit stealing my quarters.
And then quit putting them in them. It's literally called the stealing place.
Yes.
Now. Oops, out. Okay. When Alexis's warrant is served, the e-cameras are rolling, and her arrest winds up in the pilot of Pretty Wild. So suddenly, like, thank fucking God we gave this girl a reality show. We have all of this. It's so cringe to watch. Like, I watched another scene, and it's just cringe. The rest of the series follows her preparation for trial.
Oh.
While searching the house, police find one of Rachel Bilson's purses, among other things. At this point, the fact that this rash of well-publicized Hollywood burglaries has been committed by a ring of teenagers from the Valley has become in itself this hugely sensational story. No one can get enough of it. Vanity Fair writer Nancy Jo Sales covers the story mostly from Alexis's perspective as she navigates her court dates and notes that the family seems to be simultaneously treating her arrest like the scary problem it is, but also an opportunity to become famous and really lapping up the attention.
I mean, they manifested it.
Yeah.
So you've got to live it.
At the time, too, like all of those starlets had DUIs and all it did was make them more famous.
Yes. It was really, like you were saying, that it's weird because paparazzi, although I know they still exist, it's not the same as it was back then.
No.
Where everything was being driven by that.
It's so ugly.
It was out of control.
Yeah. The article goes on to be adapted into Sofia Coppola's 2013 movie, The Bling Ring, which is one of Karen's favorites.
It's number one. That and Atonement.
That's what you cry. That's what you cry on a plane too, is The Bling Ring.
Why aren't these children so amoral?
Alexis pleads no contest and is sentenced to 180 days in the county jail, and she winds up serving 30 days. Nick also spends this time giving lots of interviews and doing lots of television and news appearances. At the same time, Rachel, Nick and Rachel is saying nothing. Her mom is a lawyer.
Yes.
And so she almost isn't part of the public narrative anymore, which is so smart in that like way of don't fucking say shit and no one will care.
Yes.
It'll go away.
Yes.
Which is so true. The consequence of that is that in the cultural narrative, she is portrayed by all the other kids as the ringleader. They're able to point to her and she's not denying it. So everyone goes with it. The way she tells the story now is that it was more of a folie à deux type situation where she and Nick had a shared compulsion to steal.
And justify to each other.
Yeah.
Like we're doing it. It's fun. It's funny. I'm sure it was fucking thrilling.
Oh my God. So fucking fun. Like the stories that they tell about it was...
And then you have $8,000 in cash in your pocket. Like now I get to do, you're right. I get to have whatever lipstick I want.
And the purest Coke you've ever fucking smelled in your life. At the trial, many of the celebrity victims testify. The prosecution builds their case around the sense of violation and fear that they felt to have their homes broken into as opposed to the actual material losses. Because hopefully they were all insured too,
They were.
They were, for sure. That's why there was no security. Ultimately, all the members of the Bling Ring who are charged together plead no contest. Nick and Rachel get the stiffest sentences. Nick is sentenced to 2 years in prison and Rachel to 4, and both serve about a year before being released on probation. Everyone else winds up getting probation, and this is partially because an LAPD cop who was a major figure in the investigation is just as enamored with celebrity as the kids are. He consults on the Sofia Coppola film while the cases are still pending, creating a big conflict of interest that lessens everyone else's sentences. So it's not just teenagers.
You know what it makes me think of is I want to rewatch LA Confidential.
Yes, such a good movie.
It's such a good movie, but that whole part with the now reviled Kevin Spacey, but that whole thing is so LA. It's like there are totally different rules here.
Totally.
And it is really acclimated to beauty and money and this achievement thing.
Status and fame.
But so it's like, the cops, you cannot get a cop to show up anywhere for any reason in most of LA, but you will see 25 of them standing around a set if they're shooting on Melrose.
Totally.
And I mean, that's just how you just learn that.
Totally.
Like, that's just how it works here.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's so true. Such a weird town.
It's so weird.
When Rachel does get out of prison, she moves back in with her mom and stepdad to a bedroom with a mattress on the floor and a small box of belongings. I mean, she's got some stories to tell, though, for the rest of her life.
That's right.
She says she remembers thinking, quote, "This is all that I need in the world." Like, she was just
so happy to be home.
Yeah, and done with the whole thing. Because getting caught up in it,
Yes.
All of the members of the Bling Ring now lead pretty quiet lives. Rachel is a hairstylist. It's unclear what Nick does professionally, but he's not clamoring for publicity. Alexis, though, is the only one who still maintains an Instagram presence. So maybe she's still looking for that elusive fame.
If I was getting my hair cut and my hairdresser was like, I actually was the leader of the Bling Ring, I would be overjoyed in ways that...
Yeah, where does she work? Because I'll leave my beloved hairdresser for her immediately. Sorry, Marissa, but it's the leader of the Bling Ring.
That's a great way to spend 3 hours of and then what did you do with that watch?
Don't ask me about what I'm watching on TV right now. Tell me everything about your fucking incredible life, Rachel.
Fascinating.
And that is the story for our 500th episode of The Bling Ring.
Genius. That was great.
All props to Molly and Allie for suggesting the story. And I was like, I don't know. It's kind of vapid and dumb. Like, is Karen doing a really good true crime? I'll only do this if legitimately it's a good episode. And they were like, it fucking is. You
Molly's
have to do it.
Trust the
Trust
process.
me. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll do the fucking Bling Ring.
Well, it's interesting you say that now because that's what I was going to say at the beginning is it's our 500th episode. And from Stephen Ray Morris all by himself on the floor of your apartment to this incredible staff of almost 40 people that we now have it exactly right. We would be nowhere and we could not have done it. And we certainly couldn't have done it to the degree that we have done it.
Absolutely.
Without all these people that we work with. So for our own team, thank you, Molly and Liana and Aristotle and just everybody every week that makes this podcast possible. Thank you all so much because, that's...
It's not the two of us.
It's in the least. And now there's 2 other podcasts that go along with this podcast and there's video and it's just we have team after team and people after people that really work their ass off.
It works despite us, not because of us.
I disagree. No, it just is it's just such a big old thing. It's very exciting after 10 years and 500
Almost
episodes.
10 years and 500. That's so wild.
Yeah, the way it's grown. It's crazy.
We really fucking Bling Ringed the podcasting industry, didn't we?
What we did was we checked the podcast industry's doors. A couple of them were unlocked.
That's right. And we broke in and we stole some Grey Goose. And we went through their shit and we fucking...
They don't need this 40 grand in cash.
Yes, but what a joy. And of course, to the listeners, to the murderinos, to our fucking people, obviously this couldn't have happened without you, but you've made it into this incredible thing that we could never, ever tell you how grateful we are for the lives that we get to lead now because of you guys listening to this podcast.
And thinking that we're your best friends.
Yeah, because we are.
Because we are.
Fucking run you down in the street to honk at you.
That's right. We will stick our whole arm and perhaps our head out the window to make sure you know that we see you.
And we appreciate it. Our lives 500 episodes ago
we're very so fucking different. They were very different.
It really is a beautiful place to be. So thank you guys so fucking much.
Yes, it's magical. Stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
This has been an Exactly Right production.
Our senior producers are Alejandra Keck and Molly Smith.
Our editor is Aristotle Acevedo.
This episode was mixed by Liana Squilacci.
Our researchers are Maren McGlashan and Ali Elkin.
Email your hometowns to myfavoritemurder@gmail.com.
Follow the show on Instagram at myfavoritemurder.
Listen to My Favorite Murder on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now you can watch us on Exactly Right's YouTube page. While you're there, please like and subscribe. Goodbye.
In the summer, healthy habits are easy to keep until you leave the house.
You walk out the door, and the next thing you know, you're barefoot and feral in a gas station candy aisle.
That's why Kachava makes it easy to maintain your routines.
Kachava is an all-in-one nutrition shake, and now it comes in new travel packs.
Every packet gives you a simple shake with protein, fiber, vitamins and minerals, greens, probiotics, omegas, electrolytes, and more.
They're easy to toss into a bag, easy to take on the road, and a simple way to stick with your normal wellness habits, even when your schedule changes.
Man, that Kachava matcha in the individual packs is like my dream snack. It's exactly what I need and want in between the not great meals I'm eating for lunch and the snacks I would have had anyways that are terrible for me. This is something I feel like I'm treating myself when I take.
You're treating yourself to vitamins, fiber, all these things that your body really wants and needs and kind of craves that it does seem like it takes a big effort to get. So now you're getting it all in one packet and in a little drink you like.
Take your daily ritual with you.
Go to Kachava.com and use code MFM for 15% off your first order.
That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code MFM.
Goodbye. Calling all amateur detectives and podcast obsessives.
Virgin Voyage's second true crime voyage sets sail March 20th, 2027 for a 5-night escape to Grand Turk and the Beach Club at Bimini.
As part of the On Air at Sea collection, this immersive sailing brings together fan favorite podcasts, including Disgraceland, Buried Bones, and Wisecrack, for live recordings, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive meet and greets, and crime-themed programming that you won't find anywhere else.
All aboard our award-winning, kid-free ships.
Head over to virginvoyages.com/truecrime to secure your spot.
Goodbye.
The Hulu original series Furious is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. Starring Emmy Rossum as Alice Black, Furious follows a rookie FBI agent on the hunt for Catherine, played by Lola Pettigrew, a mysterious and calculating female serial killer. While Alice upholds justice, Catherine kills for it, terrorizing the rich and powerful men of New York in her pursuit of vengeance. With secrets that change everything, Alice discovers there's a thin line between hunter and prey. Watch the Hulu original series, Furious, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.